Hi everybody, welcome to All Games New and Old. I'm David Rodriguez, and today I'm going to be unboxing Nova Aetas Renaissance. Now, I'm going to be doing the entire all-in pledge for that. I have 4 expansion boxes off to the side, but this is a big, beefy box, so I couldn't really cram it all into the picture here in any reasonable way. And I've been waiting to do this one until I had enough time, because that is a lot of stuff to look at. I mean, just this box alone, it looks like it's going to have plenty. I'll show you how thick this is in a second, but I'm really excited to get into this. I got in on it on GameFound. They were kind of doing, I guess, I don't know if it'd been on Kickstarter before or if it had been on GameFound, but they decided to have like 1,000 more copies of their all-in available for American or at least English release. So I decided to go in on it then, because I don't know if I even saw it the first time around. So anyway, here we are. So this game is by Andrea Coletti and Luca Bernardini. So let me show you how thick this thing is. It's deep. It's really deep. I don't know. This will probably fit on a Calyx shelf, maybe, although it might stick out a bit. But it's going to take up the whole thing. So let me flip this up. You see it's got like a massive amount of plastic wrap on it. It's not like a normal box. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this wrap first, or tear it off, before I try to read the stuff on the back, because it's creating a lot of glare. It's not how you usually do it, but this is unusual packaging, I have to say. So that's what we're gonna do. Do things a little different. Okay, wow. So you can see everything on the back here, but obviously we're gonna look at it a little bit closer. I'm gonna try to read this. It is sort of in an awkward angle for me because this thing is so tall, but let's see if I can do it. Italy, AD 1508. Winds of war are rising over the cradle of the Renaissance. The clash between Rome and Venice for dominance over the Italian peninsula is inevitable, and control of an ancient and powerful artifact will be the keystone for deciding who will be victorious in this dispute. As young members of a small company of mercenaries, you find yourselves at the center of schemes and battles for the control of the blood of Gaia and supremacy over the heart of Renaissance Europe. Nova Aetas Renaissance is a cooperative game of tactical battles. A narrative campaign consisting of 27 non-linear missions will guide you through a dark and fantastic Renaissance on the brink of fierce war. Develop your heroes with dozens of skills and craftable items. Fight against the 3 factions of enemies vying for control of a powerful artifact that can decide the fate of war, or join an alliance with one of them. Are you ready to rewrite history? I am, except I don't know the rules yet. But so it's ages 14 up. It says it plays 90 or more minutes, and 1 to 6 players. So there you go. All right, let me flip this back over, and let's get into this giant box, and then after that we'll do all the many expansions. Okay, so here we are. We just took the lid off. Before I get any further, I do want to touch on something real quick. I'm going to be slowing down how often I put out videos. I kind of have been anyway lately, just for sake of my mental health. I've been kind of pushing myself too hard, and it's affecting me badly. So I'm going to go ahead and just, do it at a more leisurely pace. Hopefully everyone's cool with that. I don't have people like beating down my door wondering when the next video is going to come out anyway, to be honest. So I think it'll be okay. But I just wanted to let you know that, no, I'm not going away. We'll still be putting out stuff, but it just might be a little slower than it has been for the sake of my sanity. Okay, so let's get into more fun stuff here. Okay, so wow, we got a whole binder here. Let's see if there's an easy way into this thing. Yes. So what really drew me to this is that it just seems like you can have all kinds of different encounters, whether it's not necessarily all fights, although maybe a lot of them lead to fights, I'm guessing, but this thing should peel off, but it just doesn't peel off very easily. And I really like that. I like that it has like story elements. It's not all just fights, not that that's a bad thing, but I'm excited about that. And then the terrain they have in this is pretty cool as well. I mean, it's not, it's not super fancy. It's really just like cardboard buildings and whatnot. But either way, I appreciate that it's there. It makes it look really cool. So let's, here, maybe I'm going to move to the box to the side a little bit if I can. So maybe we can see this stuff a little bit better. It's kind of hard in the box. It's so deep. So let me zoom in a bit. We'll take a look at this notebook here. So it's got some really cool art on here. And then this is the League of Cambrai. Now, this is all, let's see. So these are all basically individual pages here. So I'm going to go and clip them into the notebook here. But you can kind of see, I'm guessing this is all campaign stuff, so I don't want to linger on anything, but it looks like some really, really incredible artwork. Now this is by the same folks who made Black Rose Wars, so I expect fantastic components. We'll see. I already like that there's a cool notebook in here. That's pretty cool right off the bat. All right, I'm just gonna pull out some stuff over here rather than bring the box over. You're just gonna trust me that that's where this came from, okay? All right, so here we have some stretch goal rules. So these are all basically things that are going in the notebook. So I don't think I'm gonna take them all out right now because they might need to go in a specific order. But just to give you an idea, that's what we have. That's all stretch goal things. Here is a read me first tutorial. So I'm hoping this kind of walks you through stuff at first. Because if it's rule books, if it's basically a rule book right off the bat, it's, you know, it's not tiny for just tutorial if it's not the full rules, but that'll be okay. But it looks like it probably does walk you through things, which is kind of neat. Whenever I play this as Hillary, I will probably run myself through this first just so I can teach it rather than having to look up stuff. We've tried to do tutorial kind of walk through things before, and that hasn't worked out so well. We did that with Folklore because they have a thing where you can just play through it as you go, and she did not dig learning a game that way, so I will not be doing it with that one. I'll probably take my time and kind of learn it on my own separately. Okay. So we have here a character for Black Rose War, or not just a character, I guess. This has several things in it. So I'm gonna try to zoom in a little bit further here. And let's see, it doesn't say anything, any kind of backstory on here. It just says you need Black Rose Wars or Black Rose Wars Rebirth to use this expansion. I'm pretty sure this is, you know, the stretch goal stuff. Let me get in there. Now, the way I got it, it was pretty much everything that was going to be out was already decided, and it was just a matter, it was almost really more like a pre-order, I guess you could say. But I'm imagining this is probably a stretch goal thing. Okay, we have Magister booklet in here. Kind of shows you everything and how it works, the setup and whatnot, so pretty cool. I like the guy and his owl, so we'll see if the model looks as good. Okay, here we have some of the bigger character cards here. I did the unboxing of Rebirth recently, actually. I haven't gotten a chance to play yet because, ooh, life has been so crazy. But that's okay. So, Agarix, Onomor, Boogeyman. That's awesome, Boogeyman. Okay, that's that. I'm not going to go into all these little cards. And let's go and take a look at the models that are here. Let me move this aside so it doesn't make it tough to see. All right, first we have this big beastie. I'm not sure what he's called, but he looks really cool. Looks like something I don't really want to fight, to be honest with you. All right, we got 3 of these little guys, which might be familiars or minions that you can have. I'm not totally sure. And we have some of the characters you can play as. I've already forgotten their names from their cards, but we're just looking at the models anyway. They really do a great job of getting some nice dynamic poses, I think, which I always appreciate. I like he's got like a little sickle or scythe there. Okay, there's that creepy dude. And then this is like the Magister guy, but he looks great. And there's one more model to show. And that's this very cool owl. I love it. I want to paint this guy. It's fun to paint animals actually because it's a lot easier, to be honest with you. You can do all kinds of simple tricks and it still looks good. If you want to do dry brushing or whatever, it still ends up looking really nice because, you know, animals aren't clean lines. All right, so let's move on, see what else we have in here. Okay, so here's more stuff about stretch goals. Let me zoom back out a little bit. So we have very Assassin's Creed looking guy here. I don't know if is this the company that made the Assassin's Creed board game? I don't think it was. I think it was Steamforged, but I could be wrong. But this is going to tell you all about the various things that are in here. looks good. And then here is the actual rule book. So I'm very curious. It's nice. Kind of got a thick binding to it. And let's see how many pages this beast of a booklet is. All right, so some of the stuff in the back is okay, wait, is this... Some of this is missions, I think. Okay. So it might be... Let's see, this tells you about setting up the campaign. Good grief. Playing a mission. So it might be... It's almost 60 pages of rules. So there's a lot in here, for sure. Which is kind of to be expected of a game like this, where there's miniatures and tactical battles, because they have to count for a lot of different possibilities. I'm hoping that'll be relatively easy to pick up on, though, having played games that are sort of similar, at least before. Time will tell, but that is my hope. So, looks good, though. All right, now we're getting into the land of a whole bunch of cardboard. So, all these trays to have missions on, they're going to be double-sided. Very nice looking art. I like the, I'm guessing there are horse skeletons in here. Maybe. And then, of course, you have like the more of a street sort of area. Oh, here we got some snowy areas. That's cool. All right. Oh, how about that? Oh, this is more of an interior kind of space. That's cool. All right. Neat. But there's still plenty more where that came from. Okay, good grief. All right, so some of these are going to punch out to form buildings, as you can probably tell. These are like building fronts and whatnot. So I'm not gonna punch them out or anything, but not at the moment. But just give you kind of an idea of what some of the buildings might look like, if you can kind of picture this made into a 3D thing. I'm a little worried about storage as far as that goes, because, you know, it's like, I don't know if it's convenient to just break them down and build them up every time. It might be okay. Oh, this is cool. Look at that mansion front. Yeah, it might not be that big a deal. I don't think they're, you know, terribly complicated or anything. But, you know, hopefully that's something you can kind of set up before each mission, so it's not like... in the middle of adventuring, you suddenly have to like build a building to keep going, because that can kind of break immersion a little bit. I know when we played Descent, Legends of the Dark, that could kind of be a little bit of a thing, because you discover new rooms and then it's like, okay, hold on, let me build this whole 3D structure. I mean, it's fine, but you know, a little bit tough. So you got some trees up here. We have La Parolaccia. I don't know. It's you know, it's in Italy. And so I may not be pronouncing this the way they intend. So, oh, this is a different one. Da Orazio. These are coming apart against my will. Okay, but I really like the look of the buildings. I mean, I know, you know, it's not going to be like having models on the board, but I think it's going to be so immersive to have, you know, actual buildings on the board, not just like a little tile that where the, you know, it's flat, but it's like, okay, well, that's where the building is. Not that there's anything wrong with those either, but I do appreciate having some 3D aspects. This is cool. You have like the zodiac signs here, and it looks like it's going to have some kind of a spinner on it, or that might spin itself. I'm not sure. Okay, it's got a cool little lever thing down here, which I'm sure is going to come in handy in some spots. I have recently had a couple people, or I don't know if it's a couple people or one person, complaining on 2 different videos. I mean, for years I've been doing this, and like literally the first time it's happened, or they were complaining that I don't know tons about how the game works when I do these unboxings, which is often the case. Sometimes I do, but and to me, like, that kind of information is more for the reviews and whatnot. You know, when I do the unboxing, it's really all about just checking out the cool components personally. And some people won't like that, and that's fine, but you know, that's what I do. So so this is interesting, because it's a mat as well, but it's, or a tile, I guess, but it's more like almost poster boardy or something like that. So a little different, but that's okay. I don't know why the difference exists, but I'm sure there's reasons for it. Okay, ooh, this is cool. So this looks like cool map that you're going to be traveling around on. And on the back here, oh, it tells you what you could do in various situations. So it has Oh boy, I don't know how do you say that. Turgion? I'm not saying that right. Barracks, Turt, Market, Inn, Artisan, Baz, Mentor, all these things that you can do in the game or experience, and what you can do there. So that's fantastic. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Explore It, how they'll have like specific city actions. Here is, oh, that's nice. They have a guide to how all the models go in, which is great. Because these kind of things, if you have to pull out a bunch of them, it's really hard to remember how they're supposed to go in, and if it's if it's fitted in a very precise way, like you really need to know that. So, but that's good. Okay, great. Let's see what else. Okay, so we have the Nova Aetas handbook, which might be kind of abbreviated rules or just reference stuff. Looks like maybe. There's the enemy AI, how they work. Which, I mean, it looks like a lot. I don't know how much actually will be, if it, will be complicated or not, but it's sort of a whole flow chart of how they're going to act, which is great. Okay. All right, we've got... Okay, this is what's going to go on the thing with the zodiac signs on it. I'm pretty sure that, or this, or maybe that and this. We've got like a well, and these almost look like a measuring device. I don't know that that's what it is, but kind of has that look. Okay, the rest of it could be models, although I think there's probably, I'm trying to remember if there's going to be a bunch of cards or not. I'm sure there's some. I always look at the models kind of last in any given box, just because that's what I like to do. Alright, so there is more stuff in here. Let me kind of show you real quick. There's a lot. I'm definitely not going to look at every card in here. That would take hours and hours and hours, I think. And I don't know if anyone really wants to sit through all of that. So I will kind of look at a few things here and there. So we have these numbered envelopes that I'm not going to get into because I'm sure that is campaign stuff that you don't want to see ahead of time. Okay. So we have these big tarot-sized cards. Like this has a Rebecca Companion, which I think she might be one of the playable characters. I think she is. And then I think some of these are specific to parts of the campaign. It's like has 2/2, a game with death, and then number 10 on it. I'm assuming this all has to do with various sections of the campaign and what you're doing. So I'm not going to spend too much time looking at that. We've got items here. Looks like, so, or it might be just treasure stuff because there's like gold and whatnot. Again, I'm not going to go through all these because it's so much. And more item cards there. We got a cool key. We got this cool spy card like that. Here's a weapon card, the Black Widow. Looks vicious. And okay, this might be cards based on various areas you can go to. Okay, let's see what else we have here. So we have some really cool dice. So these are just cool black and gold D8s. We also have these white and black D8s that are really neat looking. I love the design on those. There's also a variety of cubes and then the little pegs to put the various dials together. Okay, we have this deck with that cool backing on it. This has recruit, so there's nothing on there at the moment, so I'm not sure exactly how that goes, but that's okay. These might be some characters you can meet. I'm guessing this is a cardinal. And then we have these things that are like basically your player boards, which is pretty neat. They fold out. So you're going to pop all these things out, and then you're going to put your character card in the middle, so you can kind of see things poking through. So looks really neat when it's all done. Don't have a look at the video. Let's take a look at some of these character cards. I assume that's what most of this is, if not all of it. Alright, so what you'll notice is there's a couple versions of each character. That's because they can, I guess basically level up or get promoted to a different class. So we have Sophia, Scum, and then Sophia, Slayer, which does sound a lot cooler than Scum. Valeria, Squire, to Mercenary. Vincenzo, Novice. to Practitioner, Rebecca Apprentice to Chronomancer, and here's more stuff about the characters. So you have Valerio, like pretty much all the same things, but just different cards for the different versions that will have, looks like they're different skills and attacks and whatnot on there, which is pretty cool. The back just, oh, this actually has something different on the back. I didn't think it did. This has Rebecca Necromancer, so that's kind of interesting, but for the most part, they have like a full picture of them. Let's get into this one now. Okay, I'm like 99% certain that this is in fact an Assassin's Creed guy, and it's not just a coincidence. I just can't recall what game he's from, but we have Altair Assassin and Altair Mentor, Fatima Vagabond and Bard, Gregorio Alchemist, and, oh, there it is, Chirurgian, I don't know how you say that, Agarix Druid, and Geomancer, and there's the bigger cards for all those folks. So, very cool. Lots of possibilities there. Okay, I think after that we're ready to get to the models. Let me show you the one a little closer. You probably saw it already that was in this box. Because, wow, look at this thing. How cool and creepy is that? It's basically like a Drider from D&D, if you're familiar, it looks like, or something similar, but wow, that looks absolutely nasty. And the detail in this is incredible. These are some pretty big scale models, I think. So, gorgeous. I don't know if you can see very well, but there are skulls and whatnot on the ground beneath her. So even the bases have a ton of detail to mess with, which is very cool. All right, so let's look at the rest of the models and see what we have here. A lot of these there's going to be several of, at least in this particular tray, so I'm not going to get them all out because that would be crazy. But we've got this guy, looks like he's like a rifleman. Got this sort of knight guy with this big old warhammer. There's this knight with a big mace. Alright, this guy looks like there's some kind of demonic stuff going on. He's got like the horns, he's got a tail in the back, kind of like a tiefling from D&D maybe. I'm not saying that that's at all the origin of these characters in here, but yeah, maybe. Got some of these guys with 2 axes. See these guys with the sword and shield. Crazy helmet. There's a few of these guys with the dual pistols. Alright, this kind of guy with the goat legs and a couple swords. Oh, okay, interesting. These models kind of pop out of that base for whatever reason. I'm sure there's a reason. I don't know what it is. Alright, got the gentleman with the halberd here and a sword by his side. He's got poofy pants. Gotta love poofy pants. Let's see. Some spear-wielding imps that I'm gonna guess are not like really powerful enemies. Just they have that look of the thing that's gonna swarm me, because there's way more of these two than there are most of the other stuff. Here's another of that type of creature with different weapons. And then we got more poofy pants. If you're worried there wasn't enough poofy pants in this game, I assure you there are plenty of poofy pants. Alright, on to the next box. Let's show you some of the, we'll start with some of the possible player characters, and then kind of go on to the other crazy things that are in there. I'm not going to remember what all these characters are, but he might have been that guy who was the squire. I'm not certain, but it looks like he probably is. And I believe she's the one that can kind of possibly become a necromancer, as we saw in that one card. Just great detail in these models. I hope someday I have time to paint all this stuff, because it would be so much prettier on the table if it's all painted. But even if I'm painting it, it'll still look prettier, I think. There's our scum gal. She was sort of like a rogue type character. Alright, I don't remember what he is, but there he is. Looks great. Alright, I remember her card, but I can't remember what her deal is, but it's a really cool model. I really like that one. Alright, here's that guy who becomes that thing I can't pronounce, a Gerodrion or something. I'm not saying that right. He's got that cool plague mask on, which I dig that. And there's Altair. Again, I assume from Assassin's Creed. Maybe they did do the Assassin's Creed. I would have sworn it was Steamforged, but maybe I'm wrong. All right, we're getting into some other stuff now. Not sure what her deal is, but she looks pretty neat. It's kind of a noble looking guy with a shield. Alright, she looks almost a little, I don't know, maybe almost piratey, not quite. I don't know, just interesting. Alright, here's our clergy guy. We just looked at his card and I can't remember exactly what position he was supposed to have, but he's definitely some kind of religious figure. She looks like a nun, perhaps? Not a warrior nun, though. I do like a good warrior nun, but, you know, I guess they can't all be fighters. Alright, this guy, I almost didn't notice at first, but I saw she has a tail and she's got, like, the goat leg things going on. But, she's got a mask on, so I thought maybe she was, like, at a ball or something, but I mean, she could be at a ball, I guess. Alright, we have a few of these demon gals. Very, very, very cool model. Love that. There's a few familiars. So we got like this really cute, it looks like a little puppy dog. Love it. Alright, then there's this little bear. I don't know if they're supposed to be like young animals or not, but they all kind of have a youngish look to them. And we got a little warthog. That's just cute, man. I don't know. I don't know which one. I mean, I don't know if you have to choose one or if you can like summon any of them, but I don't know which one I'd pick first because they're all amazing. Okay, here's a demon gal with wings, kind of like a succubus looking kind of person. She's got a scythe and everything. Very awesome. There are some really fun models in here. They did a great job on this. Alright, we got an old guy with a weird hair situation, and he's got like a cross with a blade on it, so he's some kind of a religious warrior, I would assume. I keep calling them demon guys. I don't know if that's accurate. It could be something totally different. He looks like he might be a butcher, or well, we'll say butcher. I would say cook, but that might be too nice. But those blades look scary to me. I don't know. Okay, I'm curious about these guys that I've been calling demon guys though, because I'm wondering if they're all, you know, always bad guys in the lore, or if they're, you know, what the deal is. I can't wait to learn more about the story of these guys. This looks like a big, you know, woodsman guy. Got a big old log, no, not a log, but a big club behind his head. We're getting some big models here. We have a few of these centaur guys. There's an extremely cool looking mountain knight. Oh man. That'd be amazing to paint that up really well. Probably take a lot of time on it to really get it looking how I'd want it to, but that could be worth it. Okay, there's this weird, you know, automaton, or, you know, almost like a robot thing. It's got like a little tower type thing on his back, but what an interesting design. God, that's cool. And then finally we got this big hunkin' minotaur with a gigantic axe that probably would cleave just about anyone in two immediately, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, so that's everything in the core box, so now we're going to move on to the expansions. Alright, so we're going to start with Hyperion, that expansion. I accidentally kind of tore off the plastic wrap because I thought I was recording and I wasn't, so that's okay. Let me tell you what it says here on the back before I open up the box. It says, a new and powerful titan is awakening from his millennial slumber. Hyperion, the Lord of Fire, is about to carry out his plan to set the world on fire. Hyperion is an expansion for the Nova Aetas Renaissance and Black Rose Wars game systems. In Nova Aetas Renaissance, your company of adventurers will face a side campaign consisting of 2 missions culminating in a deadly and final confrontation and a hunt mission against Hyperion and his Myrmidons. In Black Rose Wars, you'll be able to use Hyperion as a new mage with asymmetrical rules to represent the enormous powers he unleashes to gain control of the Black Rose. Very cool. I think it's really awesome that they have some interconnectivity between their games. It's very cool. I mean, for one, it probably makes sense for them because people might want to go out and buy the other game if they don't have it yet. But it's kind of nice to just get an extra thing for something that you may already have. It's kind of rewarding your your loyalty to their games, I guess. So here's the Hyperion rules, which talks about setup and whatnot. Oh, I was looking at it upside down. I didn't know it was upside down, but there it is. So that's going to have some stuff about the campaign things. I don't want to get into that. So we have some of the tiles here for Black Rose Wars, which is cool. Let me zoom in on this a little bit here. As with the rest of that game, great art on these. That's kind of creepy with the hands. Here's our little folders for the campaign part, which I'm definitely not going to open. We got some cool, like, flamey standees. So here's a deck which I assume is all campaign stuff. This is for Black Rose Wars. And here's some stuff for the Myrmidons and whatnot. Let's take a look at that. I think it might just be this one card in here, but let me take a peek. And then we'll get a better look at the models, because they are pretty astounding. Okay. We have Hyperion, his card, and then the setup for him. Special rolls. Myrmidonus. Okay. So I'll put this aside so we can see him better. And we'll look at these models. There's really several of this one same small guy. So there's several of his Myrmidons here. But the real star of the show is Hyperion himself, because this is one chunky dude. He is huge. He has like random blades sticking around here. I don't know where that goes, but I think it's, I don't know, I'll figure it out, I guess. Oh, it broke off. That's not cool. Well, I could probably fix it. It's annoying that I probably have to, but that's how it came. It came broken. So how about that? Not ideal, I gotta say, but I've fixed tougher things before, so I suppose I could fix this. It is annoying. But what is kind of cool or trippy about this guy is he's got like hands sticking out all over him. It's real creepy and weird. So yeah, I'll have to figure out how to fix this guy. I can do it. But bummer that he showed up broken. Very upsetting. But I will be okay. Okay, and here's the Draco expansion. You know, things like that broken sword, I'm always tempted to see if I can get it replaced or not. But I also know that cost-wise, that's tough. A lot of companies just can't do that. So we'll see. I might reach out to them. It is something that I'm pretty sure I can fix. Just takes a little bit of work. I might have to do some pinning on that, which is a technique for building models that usually I have to do with metal. But because of that, if I just super glue it, it's just going to snap off again, just because of how that joint would have to be. But we shall see. Let's see what this says. The little village of Civita di Bagnoregio is being plagued by the raids of a legendary Draco. It'll be up to you heroes to eliminate this menace once and for all. Draco is an expansion for Nova Aetas Renaissance that adds a new side campaign consisting of 3 missions. Will you be able to defeat the terrible Draco and make its powerful treasures yours? Draco can also be used in Black Rose Wars as a very powerful evocation, summonable through a new forgotten spell. Oh, that's neat. Oh, I don't remember. I wonder if all these expansions are going to be usable in Black Rose Wars as well. I'm kind of thinking that it might go that way. We'll see. So here's our little rule book about Draco. It's going to have all sorts of stuff about his campaign. All kinds of tokens. Including this guy down here. Lots of skulls, treasures, that sort of thing. Here's campaign cards. Here's those envelopes. Black Rose Wars stuff. And let's try to get him out of there. There's card stuff down here too. So, let's take a peek at this big guy. Wow, he is... These models are so huge. Let me just inside here for a sec. That's just so big. And awesome. I love it. I love a big dragon model. That's fantastic. His head is very, like, T-Rexy. I could see it, like, in movies, so that's kind of fun. But alright, so that's it for the Draco expansion. Alright, on to the Minotaur expansion. It says, a mighty creature has appeared from the depths of the forest. A bull-headed giant is out of control and attacks both humans and primavi. I'm guessing those are the guys I was calling demon guys. Overwhelming them with frightening charges and using 2 huge logs as weapons. Will you be brave enough to face it and rid the local population of this scourge? This expansion for Nova Aetas Renaissance adds a new hunt mission that can be inserted into any campaign. The Minotaur can also be used in Black Rose Wars as a forgotten evocation. Awesome. So this is, this box isn't like your typical board game box. It's, not one of those sturdy boxes, which is okay. Let's see what we got in here. Alright, we got the little envelope thing, the rules for the Minotaur. Let's just jump right to looking at the model, because I think everything else is not stuff we're going to look at anyway. Okay, there he is. And he does it, like, he's got his fist crammed into these logs. So he's going to, like, punch you with a log. That's amazing. I love it. What a cool model. Fantastic. I dig that he just uses these. And he's got, like, shields. And I thought that might be a helmet. He's got all kinds of stuff like strapped to these logs too, which I'm guessing are trophies from the people he's taken down. That's awesome. Okay, last expansion is the the Medicio expansion. Let's take a peek at this and what it says. Helmeted guy with a magical baby. Interesting. I feel like I've seen that somewhere before. I don't know. The most famous mercenary of the Renaissance takes the field at your side in the fight against Rome and Venice. This expansion adds the Medicio, a new hero playable in any Nova Aetas Renaissance campaign. In addition, the Medicio can be played as a mage in any Black Rose Wars game. Fantastic. Let's take a peek at this model that is inspired by something else. I mean, it's different enough, you know, that you can't fully say that they got their inspiration from somewhere, but I mean, kinda. I always think it's funny when game companies do that. They kind of hint that they've gotten something in their game from somewhere else. Okay, if I remember right, the model is even maybe more reminiscent of it, but we'll see. All right, so there's actually pretty chunky rolls here. Okay. Let's take a look at his character cards here. Curious. Let's see a little bit. So yeah, Medicio Guardian. Oops. Hunter. Guardian. Hunter. Okay. Custodian. Alright. A lot of possibilities for this guy. Here's his character card. There's Companion, Medicio. Okay. It's Black Rose Wars card. He's got little tokens here. Little deck for himself. And let's take a look at this model. Yep. Definitely reminds me of somebody. I love it though. That's fun. All right, folks, that's it. That is Nova Aetas Renaissance. Dang, that was a lot of stuff. Thank you for sticking with me. If you've stuck with me this long, I really appreciate that. This game looks amazing. I hope that it plays as well as it looks, because if it does, it's going to really be something special. I love it. I love the art style. I love the models. Everything in this is incredibly gorgeous. If you've tried it yourself, let me know your thoughts on it. I'm always interested in hearing that kind of thing. And hopefully with scaling back the number of videos I put out, maybe I can play more games a little easier. So we'll see. But anyway, regardless, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit like and subscribe. Click the little bell icon so you can know about the next time I put out a video. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you all around the table again at All Games New and Old. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like it, share it, and click this button to subscribe. If you like that one, you might also like this one.
Or this one.
I cannot believe what I did in that one. Holy cow.
I can.
Of course you can. All right. Anyway, we'll see you around the table.
Bye.
Bye.